Okay, I'm back after a short break, and I'm still struggling with Restream. I can't log into my account, so I'm going to have to. I think within OBS I get the Twitch chat, and I think I'm just gonna run YouTube on my phone, so I can see what people are saying in the YouTube stream until I can sort out what's going on with Restream. Gonna make sure my phone's on silent so we don't get any feedback. Okay. I see that I'm low on battery on the phone though. I'm quickly going to get the charger cable. Okay, now I have my phone. I can watch YouTube chat. And I think I should be getting Twitch chat on OBS, so we should be good to go. Let's continue our Japan campaign on very hard. It is indeed. We're still losing too many naval units, but we have managed to destroy a number of Soviet divisions. We took Vladivostok, their main base in the east. We're cleaning up on the Philippines. Of course, we have enemy units spawning behind us. We have more divisions available. Now we should be able to make a move on Singapore, which is the next important base to take. There is a lone German light cruiser patrolling in the Dutch East Indies. And some of our naval bombers are pursuing a Dutch, no, a French submarine flotilla. And we have a British fleet in Hong Kong. Our battleships took some damage. First fleet took a few hits. We'll regroup those. Oh, and I should probably switch back to the main screen so we can see what's going on. Sorry about that. Nothing much has happened. I didn't unpause the game. I just switched around some battleships. So First Fleet now has most of my strong units. Kumano is still somewhat damaged. And Yamato. We're probably going to wait a bit for those fleets to reinforce. Suryu took a lot of damage as well. We're going to have to wait for those ships to repair as well, particularly Suryu. We have to prioritize this fleet. We'll deprioritize the submarines for repairs. Second carrier task force with the light carriers is fully operational. I'll promote Nishimura Shoji, new commander. Second carrier task force. That's another thing I wanted to do. I wanted to switch around some of the commanders in all arms, but particularly in the Navy, because we urgently need a few naval successes. Otherwise I'm gonna go crazy here. Probably also have to reorganize our submarines somehow. Submarine warfare has not been going our way at all. Let's see if we can do a better job with this. One of our best commanders here commanding a reserve fleet. We're going to change that. And we have a transport fleet up here. Also a highly skilled commander. Maybe a bit too highly skilled. We have 11 submarines. 11 submarine flotillas stationed in Tetuke. Soviet submarine flotillas, that is. We rebased a number of air fleets further north. We will pull these fighters further south. It's not clear yet how far south. Rebase into the Philippines first. And we have a number of units here. And I'm thinking about what to do with these paratroopers. If I switch out the commanders, they won't be able to deploy. Two more paratrooper divisions here. They're also disorganized because they were battling for the past 2 months for this port. I have 4 infantry divisions here. I kind of want to ship them to Guangzhou to take care of the British base here. Problem with this is the British fleet. I'm gonna send them there over land. Okay, now it's also time to take care of a few other things. We're being convoy raided in actually pretty close to our home islands. And then we have to take care of research as well. Now we have some heavy fighters here. We'll have them execute naval strikes between our homeland and Taiwan. We have also transferred naval bombers in this area. And then we have strategic bombers. We'll rebase them to Saigon and then we start striking Singapore. Then we have medium bombers. They should receive some reinforcements, as well as our fighters. And 5th and 7th Fleet get new commanders. And they will rebase to Hainan. So we can use them to destroy the British fleet when they have to leave port. Hopefully. Now let's take care of research. We'll stay as it is. First, let's go through all the things that we're researching. We'll keep researching heavily in naval doctrines. That's good. I agree with all of that. Supply production. Yeah. We should research all of this as well. A lot of industrial techs to improve. Previous warfare equipment, yes. Anti-air guns for infantry. For other ground forces, yes. Medium air search radar, definitely yes. Base suppression doctrine. Yeah. Get better at this. The medium bomb. Heavy cruiser main armament improvements, yes. Man-portable anti-tank weapons, yes, we need an upgrade there. Same thing for infantry training. Actually, a lot of land doctrines are behind. Okay, now let's clean this up a bit. 11. Okay. That makes sense. Now let's look at. We have a spare research project. Land doctrines are behind. Yeah, let's upgrade our armor divisions slightly. We have 4 of those, so still a good idea to take care of those. Or is it? No, actually we have industrial techs to take care of. Oh. Next level of radar as well. There are so many projects to research here. Let's take a look at production. We're going to free quite a bit of IC, which we're going to invest into transports, as we're running out of transports and escorts. And actually, We're going to tell the AI to stop using transports for trade. Convoys, no, stop using convoys. And then we can actually cancel. Let's cancel overseas trades. We'll have to do without those for the moment. Will have an impact on our raw material situation. But things have to get worse before they get better. I thought this would free some convoys, but doesn't seem to be the case. Okay, so 4 divisions are on their way towards Hong Kong. And 6th Infantry ran into 3rd Soviet Militia Division. And we are being counterattacked in HoI3. However, Khabarovsk is undefended. Going to need a garrison in Vladivostok, otherwise we're going to have too many problems. Hopefully transports will ship in the garrison enough. Okay, so cancelling all these trades freed quite a number of convoys and escorts. Maybe I should have done this earlier. Hold on, what's happening? We're in air combat here. No, we're in a naval combat. With the battle fleet that's coming from the north. Unfortunately, we're a bit disorganized because I switched out commanders. But we have 6 carrier air groups as well. We should probably move in some support. Additional forces, I don't know how that's gonna work with friendly fire and such things. Okay, so all we sink is the battleship and the destroyer flotilla. Am I seeing this right? There were some land battles to take care of. Still losing convoys. Welcome back to HoI. Thanks for stopping by. How are you this nice afternoon? So far my convoy raiding countermeasures are not showing too much of a result. I'm a bit worried about the Americans. They haven't shown up in a while. Dutch fleet here. We have 4 submarine flotillas still alive in the Pacific, but we're not doing much with them. Germans have transports, planes and ships in Palau and the light cruiser. Pretty interesting. And the Indian infantry can still march. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's something I have to do from time to time. We're still fighting some American garrison troops. Some Philippine militia popped up here. like to move these divisions elsewhere. But I don't feel safe as long as the British still control Hong Kong. Okay, garrison has arrived in Vladivostok, so Vladivostok is secure. We'll deal with these two divisions in the background here. Let's reinforce... how do we still have... problem here that some of my divisions aren't reinforcing. No, stop. Thought I told the AI to stop trading like this. I don't want to lose any more convoys. Okay, we freed some IC, thankfully, some naval bombers. No, actually, you don't have to attack. The 18th Infantry Division can move north. Just where HQ is a bit useless here. Let's strategically bomb Singapore for about 10-14 days maybe. During the day, see how that works out. And then we have other heavy bombers somewhere. cancel their mission wherever they are bombarding. Split this one up as well. I think it's safer for submarines to operate just alone by themselves. Might have been my problem. Maybe. We don't know, we'll find out. Okay, now we have 3 healthy flotillas and 1 that's repairing, so this one will be on reserve duty. And with the rest we'll take up raiding again. Of course, it's only light harassment, it's not a concentrated campaign. Keep them busy and make use of our assets, which we invested a lot of IC into getting in the first place. Now, since we have freed some IC because of the naval bombers that finished up, we need more naval assets. So the next carrier is going to get into the production queue. And then eventually more convoys and more escorts. Now we're bombarding Singapore and there is a lot of naval units here. 2 battle cruisers, 6 battleships, 1 carrier, 17 destroyer flotillas, 2 light carriers, 13 heavy cruisers, 25 light cruisers and 11 transports. On the other hand, they don't really have anything to defend. We have to go through. Have to go through all the enemy countries. And add war goals. So there is no real resistance to our bombardments in, at least not up to now, Singapore, but with this large fleet I can't reasonably invade here, especially given the fact that my own fleet is still heavily damaged. At least we didn't take any losses. Switch out some of the more damaged units. The fleet still has a lot of repairing to do. Unfortunately, our divisions are still moving very slowly. Our carrier fleet's looking. The light carriers are undamaged. Soryu and Kaga took some damage, but they're repairing. I don't really dare moving across the the southern Chinese Sea, moving my divisions around. With a large fleet still in Singapore and in Hong Kong. We haven't looked after war in the Soviet Union for a while. Actually, let's cancel these attacks here. I don't want to push them further north, actually. What I want to do is I want to take Khabarovsk and cut these divisions off here along the coast. Important to take this port. I can't move my troops, that's the biggest problem. At least these divisions are moving a bit faster now. We have some American forces hunting convoys here. Another garrison division has finished training. person. Know how important they are. Maybe not too terribly important right now. Let's cancel this run of infantry. I think transports are more important at this point. So from these few attacks, still the large bombers did get disorganized and cancelled their mission. We have to think about a land offensive instead. Given the large number of ships in Singapore. I don't know if my naval bombers can reach Singapore. Yeah, they can. I'm gonna fly a few port strike missions to see what's going on. Even Italian ships are in Singapore. Or maybe the Italian fleet is here, I don't know. It's still the same. What about the province itself? Yeah, some reasonably good anti-air installations and a level 2 radar. So without transports they have 66 combat units in Singapore. And I have roughly 10 less. Most of mine are still damaged, so I'm gonna have to wait. And then they have a lot of assets in Hong Kong as well. Trying to save the Indian infantry division. Somehow the Chinese have a very hard time fighting the Indians on their own territory. Okay, we have to think about an offensive here to cut off these divisions. Probably move one infantry corps north. And then we'll concentrate all our armor and motorized infantry. Make a push towards the coast. Just south of Khabarovsk. And when we have destroyed these divisions, we can plan the offensive on Khabarovsk. Thailand is mobilizing. What's going on? Are they aligning towards the Allies? We might be forced into land warfare in Thailand. Anyway, so that would take care of the problem of whether and how to invade Singapore. So before anything happens, I'm gonna redeploy my forces here. Yep, large navy. by the enemies. Okay, 4th Corps will move north. Soviet submarines are now starting to raid as well. We don't really have control over the seas. Finally, Germany accepts Iran into the Axis. Have new naval bombers. We're going to need still more convoys, however, and escorts. Battleship will finish production in a few days. And the submarine flotilla. And the US have a crazy naval production going on. And everyone and their grandmother is raiding our convoys. least we're taking the Philippines in a pincer movement here. And we're about to surround Hong Kong, readying for the attack. We're being driven away from our bridgehead here. Super annoying. Battleship Heisen finished. Integrated into 3rd Fleet. Way we can transfer it over to the rest of our fleets in Hainan. We have deployed submarines on convoy raiding missions. But we are not catching anything here. We will refocus our efforts further south. We have a submarine flotilla patrolling here. Instead we'll patrol this area here. and used him as a scout. Okay, now it's time to take out Hong Kong. And we're going to be driven out of our bridgehead. Seems to be inevitable. And we have a supply problem. It seems I received an infantry division. Somehow. An expeditionary force, okay. We're being raided off the coast of Tokyo. Some Soviet fleets are moving in the Tsushima Strait here. We wanted to transfer our newest battleship to Hainan. So let's do this. No, this is a bad idea right now because we're going to be driving the British out of Hong Kong as we won the Battle of Hong Kong. We're still being convoy raided by everyone. So a lot of fleets that we're facing, the Italians, the British, the French, although we did destroy quite a number of French ships. Unfortunately not so many British yet. First fleet's almost fully operational again. Okay, now Hong Kong has fallen. Now I'm debating engaging the enemy. Nothing too strong here to take along. Well, let's see. Can give it a try. There is a fleet in here. Engaging the enemy pretty much equally matched. Their commanders are better, so I hope we have some success here. I don't know if they're losing so many ships or if they're just running away. I think they might be running away. Okay, so it's not too bad. We lost a heavy cruiser in exchange for an enemy heavy cruiser, 4 destroyer flotillas, a carrier, and 2 battleships. Okay, I can live with this. Now let's see, maybe our carrier groups can strike some more. Let's pull back our fleet. What's still running here? A battleship that's very low, or carriers, 2 of which are heavily damaged, 3 damaged destroyer flotillas, a submarine that's almost sinking, and then 3 others that are damaged. See if we can aggressively naval strike. See if we can assemble strong fleet still. Make the cutoff at 80%. I don't know if that's too risky. Okay, and we sank Pride of the British Navy, the HMS Nelson. Okay, we sank 2 more battleships, the HMS Formidable, a carrier, 20th Destroyer Flotilla, and the 3rd Submarine Flotilla of the British. And we'll give chase. IGN Euro will rebase. Now I can dare send some transports. We're still bombarding 2 British carriers, the HMS Furious and the HMS Illustrious. Hopefully we can sink them, but they're not very damaged at this point yet. We'll see. There are still some fleets around, but we can't find them somehow. Okay, I think that's the last remainder of the British fleets here. Just a destroyer flotilla. Then we're engaging a submarine flotilla. Shouldn't be too much of a problem either. Okay. Now let's use these heavy fighters. Okay. We'll pull back our surface fleets. We'll pull back the carriers as well. Cancel the naval strike missions. Okay, let's assess damage quickly. Let's also see who sank what. So Easy didn't sink anything. Yamato, the pride of our fleet, sank 3 battleships. Prince of Wales, the HMS Royal Oak, the HMS Resolution, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 destroyer flotillas. Musashi sank a total of 4 battleships, 1 fleet carrier, 2 light cruisers, and a destroyer flotilla. Oguro sank ships in the conflict with China. Miyoko sank the HMS Ensign and HMS Courageous. Ashigara sank only ships during the conflict with China. Nothing too spectacular for the rest here. I don't know if CVs... Yeah, they actually do have sunk ships. Okay, so Soviet destroyers. The Hosho. The Marat or Ryujo. Rather large carriers. Ports and submarines. Marines and destroyers for Soryu. Augie sank transports, destroyers, and submarines. And Hiryu, our newest carrier, sank 2 French submarine flotillas. Where's the other A 5th Fleet, Hiroshima. And British destroyers. Yeah, he didn't sink anything. Kumano sank HMS Achilles and 3rd Submarine Flotilla. Otago sank 20th Destroyer Flotilla, but that was in the previous engagement. I think, what about Maya? Maya didn't sink anything in the current engagement. Okay. If we look at the stats, okay, so the United Kingdom. Let's just go through battleships, battlecruisers, and carriers. United Kingdom lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 large surface units, like battleships, battlecruisers, and carriers. Most of them to Japan, as we can see here. Germany sank a British destroyer flotilla, but that's about it. Okay. The French Republic lost 2 battleships. To Japan. Now let's see. Japan lost 1 battlecruiser. And battleship, 2 battleships, another battlecruiser, and no carriers so far. Okay, so we lost 4. Okay. And the Americans didn't lose any large surface units so far. Germany lost a lot of large units. Well, they didn't have exactly that battlecruisers, battleships that they lost. Yeah, they lost pretty much all of their surface units, except the ones that are evacuated into the Pacific. They're in this port here. I don't think they have anything back home. What's even going on with Germany? So they're... Okay, that's interesting. They're holding on in the West and against the Soviet Union. They lost some territory that was hard to defend here and made some minor gains in the south. And they're holding on to the Swedes as well. They finally dealt with the British landings in the rear. Maybe they can take out Sweden if we get very lucky. But not looking good. Despite the diplomatic difficulties, France and Italy grant military access to each other. We did get some confusing messages about this. France military access to Kingdom of Italy. Has military access through Kingdom of Italy. Okay. Allied with Lebanon and Syria. Yeah, Germany does have some naval units here. A battle cruiser. Okay. Nothing in the other ports. Iran is in the Axis and is actually good at putting up a pretty good fight against the Soviets. They lost 1 territory south of the Caucasus, but they're pushing along the eastern shores of the Caspian Sea. Okay, we are starting to move troops to the border with Thailand. I think we can't avoid a jungle war here. Okay, we took control of most of the Philippine territory. Philippines still exists, but now we can actually start, we can consider moving troops. Let's wait for our fleets to return and then let's reform our fleets. Necessary. Would like to take out the Portuguese base here as well. I think we have to do that in the short to medium term. Because if Portugal switches side, we have the same problem again. We have some Dutch aircraft bombarding. In the area. And we have 4 more divisions here. Okay, let's take care of our navy. Strongest commander for surface units is... Let's eliminate subs. Transports. Carrier fleets. Okay, Chisaburo is our strongest commander. So let's switch around some ships. Okay. Yep, pretty strong to me. 8th Fleet is now... gave up all their strong units and they're now pretty battered, so to say. Problem with First Fleet is that they have only one destroyer flotilla. We'll transfer an additional one. Now we're maxed out for this commander anyway. Well, we could give him an additional star so he could command more ships. Let's do this. Now skill 4, 4, and skill 4. Shigeo having the most experience. Okay, so now we have 2 reasonably strong fleets. First and 5th. Okay. And we have 2 carrier groups, light carriers and fleet carriers. And we have transports. So I'm saying let's start moving some troops. Let's finish up the Philippines. To that end, we're going to pick up these infantry divisions. We'll move them south, as well as the mountain infantry here. The Corps Command will stay stationed here. We'll pick it up on the way. The Army Command will move south. While the Corps Command will move south here for 3rd Corps. And for these 4 infantry divisions, we're going to need a Corps HQ, which is still here. And then we have to reassign naval bombers, probably. We'll switch over to a carpet bomber here. Do a fleet destroyer for these naval bombers. And a higher skill commander for these transports. And my airborne infantry is still too disorganized to be deployed here. What about the ones over here? They're actually in the plane. They're not at full strength. Probably can't reinforce while in the plane. And we still have, right, we still have a modern battleship that we want to transfer into a fleet. We're going to do that now as well. And the Soviets try to counterattack here. We're battling back and forth, essentially. Yeah, we're being convoy raided off our coast. There's no way we can accept this. And we have rebels in Indochina. Probably also have garrisons here along the coast. We're going to need another fleet of transports. Which we have one in Vladivostok. And we have industrial capacity to deploy as well. Two technologies will finish shortly: medium air search radar, and heavy cruiser main armament. Which we probably will have to continue researching, where we can commission the next heavy cruiser. can't seem to seriously damage the enemies that are convoy raiding here. Maybe with this upgrade they will get better. Air search radar has improved the ability for medium aircraft to find the enemy. Surface detection. Oh, but that's to detect the enemy. Planes, not the enemy surface targets. Okay, so Hisen, our newest battleship, arrived. So that means we probably have to, yep, we have to start researching surface detection. We're going to rename this infantry division because we already have a 10th infantry division. If I'm not mistaken, we should be at number 32. That's 2 garrison divisions and 3 infantry divisions. Hold on, something finished. We didn't replace it. And I clicked it away, so I don't know what it is. Heavy cruiser main armament. Yeah, we can't research next level because we need heavy cruiser design principle. Too far back. You know what, we'll just get surface detection system. Upgrading our existing ships. I see that we're a bit behind in by the number of technologies here. Probably pretty good in light cruisers still. So instead of heavy cruisers, we could commission light cruisers if we have the IC. We'll have to start with additional carrier groups because 2 light carriers will finish by mid-October. Now we're in March, so mid-March. That's roughly 7 months, that's 210 days, roughly speaking. And the carrier air group takes 143 days, so we have another 70 days roughly, another 2.5 months. But then we need to start training the carrier air groups for the 2 light carriers. Otherwise, they're not going to be of much use. have some fighters here. See if we can interdict in this area. To slow the okay, so finally some Americans show up. Yeah, speaking of which, we are convoy raiding here in the south. And we're even sinking some convoys. The odd convoy here and there. We're still trying to find these submarines here that are convoy raiding. We also want to pick up our invasion corps from Guam eventually. Still sitting here completely useless. I'm wondering whether to open hostilities yet with Taiwan. I really would like to have more transports. We're going to have to commission more transports. Going to deprioritize these naval bombers for that. Hold on. We're transporting 4 infantry divisions. We'll wait. And we'll organize some cover carriers and the surface action group. Not fully organized yet. What else do we have here? Third Fleet. Hisen is still working up and we only have 1 battleship in this fleet. Hold on though. We've got 3rd Fleet, for the benefit of 5th Fleet. I'm trying to organize the fleets in such a way that I can get more or less complete fleets ready faster. I'll work with this for the moment. What's the cover going to be? Our large carriers, Sorio is still undergoing repairs. So we'll take the escort carriers, or the light carriers. Light carriers and Fifth Fleet. We will join Sixth Transport Fleet in Lingayen Gulf. And then we'll move south with these divisions. And probably land directly in Davao. And we're also holding some bridgeheads northwest of Khabarovsk. And we have our heavy armor slowly regaining organization. Considering a naval operation against the submarines stationed in Tetuke. They're probably part of the anti-convoy operations going on in our home waters. But I have to say, the anti-convoy operations here in the South China Sea have died down a bit, I think. Our efforts are showing some success. Okay, some Dutch naval bombers are bombarding us. I hope that our carrier air groups are taking care of this. Okay, India is pushing into China, and the Chinese are in trouble. Half of Xinjiang has been lost to the Soviets. That's another problem. It'll require an entirely new plan. Consolidate the frontier. China is pushing across the Himalaya. Sorry, we're sinking the odd transport here, but it's not counting for much. And Southeast Asia is still largely unconquered. Going to be very interesting fighting this two-front war with the Soviets and the British allies in the Himalaya and northwestern China, as well as fighting the Soviets around Vladivostok or south of Khabarovsk now, and trying to expand in the south. That's going to be very difficult. Is the name of the division really important? Asks DKVNN. To me it is. I care about which division does what, because it's I don't know, it's like, it's history for me. I mean, I play this game because it's interesting and complex, because it requires planning and thinking ahead, trying to figure out a good plan that can work. But I also enjoy in my head to keep like a little history of what happened in a game that I play. And that's why I care about not having two divisions with the same name or the same number. And that's why I somewhat care about having realistic names for units. Unfortunately, some countries that I play I don't speak the language of, so I can't guarantee that all names that I give make sense. Especially not when I'm trying to respect hierarchies, military hierarchies as well. Hold on, what's going on? A large fleet attacking my submarines. They set up two carriers, a battleship, a light cruiser to destroy a flotillas. Hopefully they don't simply delete my flotilla. And my flotilla is fleeing. But I'm definitely having less trouble now that I run individual flotillas instead of groups of flotillas. Hello, Craze Tim. No, I don't have Hearts of Iron 4. I decided when it came out that it's not a game that I would enjoy, because apparently the AI is even worse, or at least was even worse than the one in Hearts of Iron 3. And I wasn't able to change my mind so far from what I've seen. I also don't like the even more arcade graphics. Some of the graphics are better in Hearts of Iron 4 in in some menus where you can design divisions. But overall, I'm still of the opinion that the gameplay is not doesn't compare in terms of seriousness. Okay, we're being engaged by a lone British carrier. I don't know what they're doing here. It's probably one of the carriers we damaged in the Battle of the South China Sea. They're trying to run away. They already slipped away. Let's see if we can give chase. And that's where the Dutch naval bombers are stationed. Are harassing us. Garrison division has finished training. Going to have to sneeze, sorry. Or not. So annoying. Finally, we dealt with the Vietnamese rebels. Want to unload HQ, and we found a heavy cruiser. We're trying to chase the carrier. Okay, we sank the HMS Cumberland. It's excellent. Move away with the carriers. Something is still moving here. Okay, finally. Philippines are under Japanese control. We can consider making them a puppet later on. Right now they're under Japanese full occupation, I believe. They don't even show up yet under occupied countries. Now that we have seriously damaged and reduced the British naval presence, we can even consider again a naval operation against a naval invasion of Singapore. What I'm trying to say. Maybe we can do that in parallel with some landings in the Dutch East Indies and on Borneo, securing some oil supply. It would actually be great, because we still have a lot of fuel, but we're not getting enough crude oil. try to chase this British naval unit, whatever it is here. It's probably... I have no idea. We have 2 destroyer flotillas here, and them showing 3 in the pop-up here at the bottom right, so that's probably just a British destroyer flotilla. Okay, now... I'm gonna have these divisions redeployed to Davao so I can ship them off. Yeah, we're still trying to chase that guy. We might actually just hop over to, I believe this island is called Sulawesi nowadays. We're at war with the Dutch anyway. Now we have a force here. Then we could try to take these ports over here as well. Particularly here on Borneo, get oil. Maybe we should take out the base. Let's take some oil, yeah. We have 4 divisions. It's actually enough to take at least 2 ports. Yeah, it looks like a British carrier group rescued itself into this airbase. Oh no, here we see what it is. 3 destroyer flotillas and a light cruiser. Okay, so we can return with our fleet. Great Depression is almost over, okay. Finally our transports are moving. I think I needed some time to register that this port is now actually under Japanese control. Fleet is running. No. Cancel, stay in port. Okay. Now. Move across the Sulawesi Sea. Okay, and we're engaging the enemy. We're still here. 16 ships against 5 British ships. Kirishima is taking damage. And we have destroyed 2 more battle cruisers and 3 destroyer flotillas. Oh, they're probably now running into this port. Interestingly, the AI can run much faster. Much more often than we can. At least that's my subjective impression. Might be unfair. I'm gonna detach Kirishima. And have it run to Davao. Nope, not the battle fleet. Battle fleet will stay here. Let's see if I can execute some port strikes here. Find anything. The Dutch are putting up a pretty good fight. I'm not sure I want to get into another landing operation right away now. On the other hand, what's stopping me? Maybe I should have 2 divisions land in the rear and 2 other divisions land in the front, but the problem is those are not Marines. Maybe it's not the best idea. But I do have other transports to pick up Marines finally. Let's see. I have a transport fleet here. What's the capacity needed to evacuate the Guam invasion force? 103. I have 2 transports here. I'll try to sneak across to Guam. How is my other carrier task force looking? Soryu is slowly repairing. Maybe I should detach Soryu for the moment. And then I go pick up my invasion force. Ideally, I'd bring a garrison division. And do I have a fleet that can bring back Kirishima? Could do this with 7th fleet. Yeah, I think this will be enough to just to escort a battleship back. Not too many forces should be between the South China Sea and the Celebes Sea. Hold on. Yeah, thought I had all my divisions attack on auto directly. That would not be the point. Germany is since forever trying to move these paratroopers to South Palau. I have no idea what they're even doing there. I have a submarine flotilla, not doing much here. I have them convoy raid, maybe some of the Soviet convoys here. I have a reserve submarine fleet here. And British and Soviet submarines swarming my islands. And I'll have 5th Marine Flotilla patrol convoy raid in the Sumatra or Singapore Strait area. Okay, so we have a garrison here. I will merge these transports into the fleets that will arrive from the west. Okay, and we find another fleet here. 2 British battleships, a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and a destroyer flotilla. We have our carriers. And we have a considerable surface force here as well. Hopefully they don't interfere too much with our transports. Would hate losing infantry divisions. They're still putting up a fight, try to defend against our invasion. Of course, the battle fleet that's supposed to pick up damaged battleship will redirect. We lost the destroyer flotilla, but we sank a battleship and a heavy cruiser. I think this is acceptable. How much damage do we take? Maya took a lot of damage. I don't think we can continue this engagement. I don't know how much damage the other ships took. That's bad. bad. Our carrier air groups are disorganized because I had them port strike instead of attacking enemy surface units. Airborne assault tactics are now ahead of time. We're going to switch over to some different doctrines to research. Probably we'll start off with fighters. I think I'll play to the end of the month and then I'm going to have to end the stream for today. Okay, so the line runs into our fleet again. Hopefully it'll sink. They made Lion the pride of the British fleet. And he sent our newest battleship, sank it. Very nice. But we did lose heavy cruiser Maya. It's a better trade than it could have been, but I would have preferred to avoid further losses. Okay. Americans are sinking convoys around Inuit. We do have naval patrol bombers here. British surface units are still in the area. Okay, our cover force is here, but the transports are not yet. I think we actually have a chance, if we are careful, we have a chance of reducing all our enemies' naval presence step by step. And by exercising more and more control, but it'll be a combined effort. We'll have to rely on land-based aircraft, naval bombers, and heavy fighters, as well as surface action groups and carrier fleets. But we're losing so many transports. Why are we still trading using convoys? Pretty sure I told the AI not to do that. Maybe it was a trade that... maybe I shouldn't have cancelled it. Maybe it was a trade that was offered by the Iranians using Iranian convoys. That was probably a mistake. And the Iranians are committing mistakes themselves because they're getting themselves isolated here. British are still trying to prevent the invasion here, which already happened. And they lose another light cruiser and a heavy cruiser. Okay, we're destroying some... we'll merge the two surface fleets. By dissolving the 7th fleet. Place a garrison division here in Davao. We're in urgent need of more convoys. And conquering more ports is not helping the problem. That's right, we're convoy raiding the Strait of Singapore. We're sinking very few convoys in the area. And now the allies are striking back. So I'm going to pull back my submarine for now. Maybe we need to rebase additional forces here to take care of this convoy raiding problem. First of all, we need to secure our own lifelines, where we can think about the next steps. While we wait for... actually, you know what? Let's just move our troops out here. We'll bring a garrison division from somewhere. Should probably take a look at theater here in the far north. And now we're out of convoys. Yep. We're getting a batch of 10 convoys in 8 days. How is it that they are not organizing? Regaining organization. I'm gonna use transport planes. Have those rebase. We've improved medium bombers, that's great. Probably improve maritime attack ordnance. Will benefit naval bombers and area air groups mostly. Okay, now we're able to recover our expeditionary corps. The oil situation isn't urgent, so we'll move on Singapore first. I might have to manually manage convoys now that we're running out of convoys. Okay, we picked up our expeditionary corps. And we'll move to Saigon to stage for the invasion of Singapore. Our naval bombers are weaker than I thought. Very hard to engage the enemy. Maybe I don't have enough of them. But I'm on an emergency production schedule anyway. I could... yeah, I'm probably going to further delay the production of these naval bombers. Still take 90 days to complete. Now we're going to have to secure our supply lines. But this is a more complex project. We'll do that on the next stream. I want to thank everybody who stopped by. Have a very nice Sunday evening. Have a good start tomorrow for the new week, and I'll see you soon in another Hearts of Iron 3 stream. Take care. Thanks.